This week,
the freshman class goes to Camp Duncan.
Warrior Student Media welcomes our new AD.
And band members make our community cleaner one car at a time.
All that and more
on the Warrior Weekly.
Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Caden Bunting.
And I'm Alina Noel. Happy Homecoming Week, Warriors. Today we meet our new head of athletics and wash some cars with our band.
But first, Pride Camp is one of the biggest traditions of McHenry High School, and 2 weeks ago, our freshman class had a chance to experience a day at camp. Warrior Student Media has the story.
Recently, Leadership in Action hosted Pride Camp for the freshmen at Camp Duncan. Leadership in Action advisor John Lunkenheimer talks about what Pride Camp is.
All right, Pride Camp is about 20 years old now, where it's a great way for freshmen to kind of get connected to our school.
Senior leader Gavin Schutze talks about how Pride Camp helps him collaborate with his aim.
It definitely helps us connect and everything like that. Like we're learning names, we're having fun with each other, we're messing with each other. It's like, it doesn't really feel like we're like seniors and they're freshmen. It kind of feels like we're one big kind of like class.
The freshman class describes their opinions on Pride Camp and what they enjoy about it.
I think the best part of Pride Camp was just getting to know my aim a lot better and getting connected with all my friends.
I really like bonding with other people and getting to know the people in my aim that I haven't really talked to.
I liked connecting with everyone else and being able to hang out and talk to one another.
I've liked so far that it's an opportunity to work on teamwork with other people.
Lunkenheimer talks about how Leadership in Action plays a role in Pride Camp.
Through our Leadership in Action class, those leaders are out here, so it's a good way for them to practice their leadership skills, as well as the freshmen to bond together, get out of their comfort zone, know each other, get to know their names, do something different than just being each other's aims class.
Senior leader Gavin elaborates on his responsibilities in Pride Camp.
So we're a lot less of planning and a lot more of doing kind of the actual forefront of the actual activities.
If you're thinking about joining Leadership in Action your senior year, talk to your counselor. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Travis Kokinos, McKenna Harvey, Oscar Kaloje, and Marco Viznovac.
Next, Mr. Chris Madsen, former head boys basketball coach, has emerged as our new athletic director at MCHS. Warrior Student Media sat down with him to talk about his new role at the school and his goals to push Warrior athletics forward.
Formerly a teacher and coach here at MCHS, Coach Chris Madsen stepped into the role of athletic director, searching for success in the 2023 to 2024 school year athletics.
I graduated from 2009 when it was East Campus. Had a brother as well who went here in 2011. Came over to Upper Campus West for sports, but we went to East Campus. So that was my life as a student. Went to Lake Forest College to play basketball, came back in the summers, worked as a coach, volunteered, and that led to being hired as a social studies teacher basketball coach. So that was the early years of education, and then began coaching other sports like football, girls track. Continued to teach social studies. Eventually, I moved into what's called ML, which is multilingual learning, or ELO, and became the ML coordinator the last 2 years. And then last year, this summer, applied for the athletic director job and became the full-time athletic director July 1st, effective immediately.
Madsen has already thought about many plans to positively impact all aspects of the McHenry Athletics program.
Definitely the focus is kind of what does a student athletic experience look like and really how do we maximize it, but also the facilities that we have, right? McHenry has grown quite a bit. We have a new structure with the upper campus, the freshman campus, McCracken Field. We're doing a huge expansion here with the baseball fields and the softball fields, and that goes part of that student experience, right? Making sure that we have a ton of pride in what we do and how we do it, and I think how we showcase our facilities is a big one for that.
McHenry coaches and athletes are already seeing and appreciating Madsen's strengths in his new role.
Two biggest strengths that Coach Madsen has is, first one is really good communicator. He's on top of it, gets back to you in a timely fashion, one of those things that a lot of coaches always yearn for, but you're not going to leave you hanging if you got an issue or you need something done for you. I think that's the number one. Number two is, big strength of him is he's an alum, he's a former player here, a former coach here. He's been in the school and this whole community since he was 5 years old. I mean, I coached him, I taught him, so he's all in on McHenry.
Reflecting on his experience as a student athlete, Madsen hopes to support all current and future MCHS athletes with new resources.
We're going to be starting in the future with like alumni connections and how we can, partner that junior in college who's doing education and wanting to get into coaching with a junior in high school who kind of has the same career goals and kind of almost have a mentorship program.
Madsen has already done so much to benefit not only McHenry athletes, but McHenry High School as a whole, and we can't wait to see what he does next. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Maddie Spencer, Riley Byron, Alyssa Thomas, and Neo Fritz.
Homecoming week has a ton of events that you can attend. On Wednesday night, we have our Powder Puff game between the juniors and seniors. And on Friday night, our own varsity football team will take on Crystal Lake Central for a homecoming football game.
Then, on Saturday night, we have our homecoming dance. Be sure to use the QR code around both campuses to buy your tickets. Guest forms are due tomorrow.
Finally, the McHenry community helped to raise money for our student bands, one car at a time.
On Saturday, September 16th, members of the McHenry Band Program gathered at the freshman campus parking lot to wash cars for their annual car wash fundraiser. Band director Ryan Cabildo explains the purpose of this fundraiser and what specifically they are raising money for.
The biggest thing that we're looking at with this fundraiser and this car wash is trying to raise money for this big trip that we're taking the band program on. We're going down to Memphis, Tennessee, and then New Orleans down in Louisiana. And there are going to be 4 different kinds of performances and music workshops that we're going to. I'm honestly so excited for it. And yeah, we're trying to just raise as much money as we can to make that experience as affordable and accessible to everyone in our program as possible.
Senior Audrey Dunwoody explains how the car wash gives members of the band program an opportunity to bond with each other, making it different from other fundraisers they hold.
Most fundraisers are like kids are going around and selling things to their families, but this is like a one-day event where like the freshman band kids, like from freshman campus, and the upper campus band kids get to come together and do something fun together. Because with band, having it at 2 separate campuses is really separated sometimes, and it's hard to feel connected.
While band members were working hard to raise money during the car wash, they still managed to make it a fun experience. For members such as junior Faith Riley, who explains her favorite memory from the fundraiser.
Probably dumping buckets of water on people, honestly, because it's just so much fun to have fun with your friends and do stupid things.
With the band car wash in the books, junior Audrey Dunwoody reflects on the huge turnout they had during the fundraiser.
I think it was a really good turnout. It went from 8 to 5, and there wasn't a moment where there wasn't a full lane of cars in the drive-thru.
The band car wash was not only a memorable experience, but also a tremendous success, allowing members and advisors of the McHenry Band Program to be optimistic for future fundraisers and the opportunities granted as a result. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly were Allie Casey, Maggie Machashik, and Emberlyn Carlson.
Remember, tomorrow is Warrior Wednesday, Thursday is Barbie Day, and Friday is Gold Rush.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Insta, and TikTok.
For Alina Noel and all of Warrior Student Media, I'm Caden Bunting. See you next week, Warriors.